Esta conferencia comenzará a grabarse.
Welcome everybody, and we will wait just 1 minute and start. Okay, so perhaps Daniel, perhaps you could introduce Pablo. Okay.
Sure.
Perfect. Just 1 minute. Yes, it's time now. Okay. So welcome everybody. Today we are going to focus our session on the a very interesting topics is the evolution on the on some construction techniques, okay, and proposals. The title of the session is the post-COVID-19 Workplace. For introducing the question, we have today Pablo Gonzalez from Batch Architecture, that is a member of the Smart City Cluster. As we have also Daniel Gonzalez, that is managing the clusters. Please, Gabriel, could you introduce your cluster and remember?
Well, it is a very special session for us today. After so many sessions, this is a very much appreciated group where we identify the possible disruptions in the industrial ecosystems in Europe. And whenever we identify that there is a special need for a topic that is worthy of expanding a little bit, or maybe that could be enough for one specific session, then we look for the time slot and we dedicate one entire session to the topic. And this one is something that we have mentioned and discussed in previous sessions, and it was decided that it was a very interesting topic for us. So we planned to do one specific session on what we call the post-COVID workplace. I take this 1 minute to remind everybody that from the very month of March, we have been saying that we need to go back to work safely, and we have been wondering what the return from the lockdown would be like. So a lot of work has been put into that, and we are going to discover that today. The Smart City Cluster is a cluster in Spain that represents the industry of smart cities in all of the topics that look for the citizen well-being, from clean energy to ICT infrastructure, urbanism, architecture, water, waste, logistics, transport, everything, environment, sustainability. And one of our members has elaborated, with the support of the cluster, a very thorough study of what the trends are in the post-COVID workplace, and an analysis that is elaborated in the form of a white paper, which we're going to share in the chat, so that you can download it and read it thoroughly if you are interested in the topic. On the topic of what the workplace is going to be like. We have discussed long. We have seen that many are already coming back to work and encountering some differences in what their workplace is looking like, and we're going to find out about it. About our presenter today, it is my great pleasure to present Pablo. Not only because I think he's a seriously great architect and a long-time member of the cluster, but for clarity purpose, he is also my brother, beloved brother, and he has supported us from the beginning. So it's a very special session for us this morning. So without further ado, thank you, Antonio, for letting me introduce Pablo, and we are very eager to hear what he has to say. And like Antonio always says, Pablo, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's great to be here. Can I share my screen? Yes. So this must be it. Is everyone seeing my screen right now?
Not yet, Pablo.
Okay, let's see how it goes. Just a minute. So do you see my presentation right now?
No, not yet.
Let me see.
If not, I could share it from my computer.
Just a second. Is it there right now?
Yes, yes, yes.
So
No,
you
sorry.
see
No. My mistake. No.
Okay. So
If not, Pablo, I can share my screen, and you could just tell me when to move it.
Okay.
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 There it is. If you want, you could start.
Okay. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do it that way. So thank you. As Daniel said before, we are a member of the Smart City Cluster since forever ago, and we've been developing this white paper that we want to introduce right now. So the thing is, this is not a change that has been brought up by the COVID-19. The thing is, the virus is just, let's put it that way, accelerating these changes. But the changes are going to be overwhelming for many people. Some people don't even realize how big the changes are going to be. So we're going to go through a little presentation that maybe make it more clear. Next, please. So this is a little table of contents. Next, please. I think it's good for everyone to understand that we're facing big changes due to many factors, but the best, the greatest factor of all is going to be how COVID-19 has pushed remote work and some social distancing and measures that are going to affect our lives, because if we think of how long work is taking for us along the day, it's a great deal of the day for every one of us, including commutes, including transportation, including feed, including even play. Things like how we relate to each other are affected by the way we work, and this is very much affected by the implementation of remote work that's being boosted by coronavirus. So next, please. Companies that want to start a new office or get implanted into a new office right now are wondering how coronavirus has affected or is going to affect the need for space. How much space do we need to rent? So in order to analyze that, we need to focus on two factors. First of all, as we said, remote work. So remote work is going to, you've been experiencing it yourselves, I'm sure, it's going to affect very much. The virus has wiped away all remaining reluctances from management points to the way they see, the way they saw remote work has changed forever. So we're facing a plausible decrease in the space needed for workplace because we're going to be away from the office a lot of the time. The other factor is going to be how social distance will impact our new world. So right now we're seeing the behavior of the virus is changing itself. We're not in the same situation as in March, but we don't know in what situation we're going to be in 5 months' time. So these two factors, remote work and social distance, are very important to. Sorry, anybody say no? Okay. Okay, next, please. So the foreseeable result of this two factors interacting with each other is we're going to maybe face a short-term moment with not everybody at work, but yes, the offices haven't changed as much as they need to in the midterm. So in the short term, we're going to have 100% of the square meters with 60 to 70% of the people working in them. But in the mid-long term, we're going to face a reduction of a decrease, if you will, of up to 60% of the post-COVID of the office space, and 40% of the people are going to be working there. So in a pre-vaccine scenario, the effects of both circumstances are going to tend to cancel each other out. But as long as we start finding cures or vaccines, social measures are going to be decreasing or relaxing up to the point where we can understand that we are able to live in a much more relaxed manner. Next, please. So in terms of real estate, one thing I forgot to mention is, can you go back 2 slides, please? There. Even if there remain some non-believers in these shifts, there are some issues, economic issues, that are going to push this shift. Imagine if a company can realize that they are going to save $1,100 a month, $11,000 annually per employee that works away half of the time, and the employees realize that they're going to save up to $205,000 or even up to $4,000 annually if they work away. So it's economics that's going to push this shift also. 2 more, please. And one more. So in terms of real estate, we're going to face two main changes. Contracts are not going to be as long as they used to. Some companies are letting their lease expire right now, but they really don't know what to do next. They just know that they want smaller contracts, shorter contracts, or more flexible contracts. In terms of location, we need to understand how being in first level cities like London, Madrid, or Paris, it's not going to be that important, as important as it used to be. And some other cities, like two-level cities, second-level cities, third-level cities, are going to experiment probably boost in their workplace leasing. Next, please. So, having no idea how the world is going to be in 6 months' time, or even 6 year time, the most important thing for everyone to realize is that your office must be as adapted as possible. You need to understand that companies are after productivity nowadays. Security and attraction of talent is also crucial, but productivity is the main thing. And you need to understand, to be able to provide that, you need to understand that the worker is going to be able to perform the focus or the concentration tasks altogether at home or near home. So the office is going to remain for the purposes of the, let's say, the knowledge work, like concentration, collaboration, learning, and socialization. In this document, we're going to go through adaptability in terms of design, health and well-being, and of course digital tools. Next, please. So this is going to, let's start talking about how the post-COVID-19 is going to be like. Next, please. So we need to understand that this is going to be, from our side, from our point of view, a two-phase process. The phases will be clearly differentiated with a first pre-vaccine phase and the second post-vaccine phase, that, from which we're going to need very, very different things. These are two examples of how we adapted some office space design pre-COVID and post-COVID. You're going to have this document for you to check out in more detail, and we're going to be able, of course, to answer every single question you have. But in a glance, you can see how pre-COVID-19 took up the whole area, the whole floor area of the building plan, and post-COVID can be reduced. Can reduce the area of the implantation of the office to, let's say, 75, maybe 60% of the square footage, depending on the offices, I mean, the company that wants the change. So next, please. So once again, adaptability is the key. If you can design an office that's going to be easily adaptable to any changes, you're going to be successful, and your office is going to boost productivity the way you need to. These two graphics are showing specially rearrangeable spaces, and how potentially, if the circumstances work with you, or even better, you with the circumstances, you can potentially reduce your office area, your office floor area dramatically. So next, please. So yes, short-term pre-vaccine phase, do whatever it's in your hand to provide safety and health for all your workers. Nobody will go back into an office they do not feel safe in. Nobody wants to hop into a car or into a commute every morning for 45 to 60 minutes, have a traffic jam, and then just to be able to perform a concentrated task that you can perform at home or even close to home. So one thing everyone's going to be thinking about in the short term is, how does my office look after my health? This is very, very important here. So we think, as we mentioned before, 60% of the employees are going to be working in 100% of pre-COVID floor area. And the factors that we are going to have to face in the short term are, as we said, remote work, but also physical boundaries that need to provide not only the safety and health, but also the sense of health and safety. We need to make the office worker feel secure, not just be secure, but also feel secure. Next, please. So more things to take into account in the short-term pre-vaccine phase. We're going to have to rearrange the desks. I mean, this is just taking the office as it is and performing strictly short-term measures. So work posts must be rearranged dramatically. We will face a reduction of 40 to 50% of the operation posts, because otherwise people are not going to feel safe and to be able to perform with relaxation. Social distance strategies like visual communication, as we see in the graphic below, is important, because these are really cheap and implementable measures that have to do with graphic design, signage, color, and image that can really help us in the really short term. Secondary uses spaces must also be taken into consideration. Places like the toilets and the canteens and waiting areas are crucial for an office to work perfectly. So we need to implement health measures in the short term. But we need to rely on everything that we have at hand. And digital tools are very important in this area. So social distance and space optimization can be implemented quickly thanks to digital tools and like Indoors by Esri or many other providers in terms of digital implantation. The touchless office is another goal here. Once you get out of your house, you are, I'm sure, eager not to touch anything and very aware that everything is a potential hazard. So in a place where is full of people like the office, it's going to be like that and even more. So we need to point in the direction of the touchless office. Next, please. So yes, here you can check it out later. I'm not gonna step into specifics, but we need to take care short term. We need to take care and make some changes in our HVAC operation systems and yes. We're going to you can check that out later because we don't need to get into more specifics here. Next, please. So we've covered short term, as I said, get in the game, provide health and safety for your workers, and do whatever is needed up until the moment we find a vaccine. What's going to happen after we find a vaccine? Next, please. So what we're going to have there is due to remote work, we're going to face 40% of the employees in about 60% of pre-COVID because the floor area is not going to be needed anymore, or at least that much floor area is not going to be needed anymore. So we need to provide a place that the worker can feel safe, but also that the worker can interact with colleagues and teammates to be able to provide type of work that is going to be only performed with other people. So you're going to leave for home or near home the tasks of concentration and leave for the office the tasks of human relation and creativity. So we need for the office space to be able to boost that creativity and to provide spaces that can help us perform those duties. Next, please. So spaces for personal contact. In one hand, this should be the main use of the office, and companies will have to provide these spaces in terms of adaptability and making the worker creativity is spiking, conversations are produced, and serendipity even. So in one hand, spaces in spaces for this main use, that's personal contact, teamwork, and creativity. Next, please. In the other hand, we need to expand the catalog of flexible posts. Probably we're talking about flexible individual posts and flexible shared posts. So we're going to have, in one hand, as I said, spaces for human relation, but next, please. The worker is going to have to be able to perform still some individual tasks that are related to this main use. And we need to provide the attractiveness, if you will, for those individual posts, and we're going to have to expand the catalog of flexible posts in terms of individual posts. Next, please. This post can be movable. They can be standing posts, as creativity has been said to increase by 60% and when you're standing or moving around. And you're going to have concentration posts as well. Also, the avoidance of noise is going to be crucial for some special moments of your morning or afternoon, and you're going to need to have cabins that, of course, are going to have to see all the health measures and safety measures. Next, please. So the office is also formed by spaces for secondary uses, not just for work, but there are also a variety of uses that need to also be taken care of. So next, please. Uses like remote communication and meeting rooms that are used to be just meeting rooms for 6 people, 8 people to be there. You need to understand that remote communication are going to have to be performed there as well. And you need to rethink those spaces. What to say about toilets? Restrooms are as important in an office as they have been undervalued up to this point, but they are, as we conceive them right now, dangerous, and we need to take care of redesigning those things. You can check out later if you want how we propose to do that. So last of the areas of the secondary uses to be taken care of are informal areas such as resting spaces or socializing spaces that also need to be taken care of, to be made more flexible and to be more attractive, so that the office, the company, can attract talent and retain it later. Next, please. Also, canteens are probably cafeteria as we know it is a use of the past, like because waiting in a line to pick up an overly exposed set of foods, it's no longer a safe thing to do. We need to provide a different way to have lunch during office hours, and in this document you can see how we propose to do that. So we have a last item, transition spaces. You probably witnessed an increase of, for instance, package delivery to the front desk of an office. We propose to take care of that in a different way. But you need to redesign those places very carefully, because they are also the first glance many people have of your office, which is the first glance many people will have of your business. So you need to be able to understand the office dynamics and to represent them well in a transition space from the outside to the inside. So this transition is going to be once you leave the doors behind you, but before you reach the front desk. So this is how we propose to do it. Next, please. So in terms of materials, there's going to be a huge change as well. So surfaces must be really easily clean, and we need some a new catalog of materials to be able to facilitate that. We're going to be facing a direct relation between the shaped simplicity of the finishes and the resources applied to their cleaning. We have some different proposals here that you can check out later. Next, please. So digital tools are key here. The office is not just a place, a physical place with structures, systems, furniture, walls, and it's also composed by digital tools. And we divided these tools into 4 different areas, so to speak. The first one has to do with the user experience. Things like occupancy management, be able to go through the office, touchless, delivery management, even payment platforms, interaction with building management, and things like that are really important for an office space to be rented properly and lived properly. So the second area is the digital office or the digital building. So by that we mean to, in the building scale, to be able to monitor how the building is performing in terms of HVAC management, use of energy, maintenance and operational management, and of course, very important, the new hygiene with schedules, logistics, equipment, and how the team, the hygiene team must behave. Next, please. So in terms of internal processes, BPMS are really important for companies. Probably know, you guys know all about that. And also metrics are important digital tools because they're going to allow you to understand how your office is giving service to the main use, which is the productivity of the workers. So being able to relate to the workers through these metrics, like perception of health and safety, favorite activities, mobility, and things like that, you need to constantly ask your employees and to understand and manage their expectations through the metrics that are correct for each office. Next, please. So we have new indoor health as a really important issue, and you need to understand that we have to advance, as we said before, towards a touchless office based on automation. New hygiene is going to be crucial, and you need to reinforce hygiene teams by using digital tools for schedules and geographic location in management. And in that way, you can provide a sense of hygiene in the office, but also much more thorough performance of hygiene. The HVAC you can check out in the part with the pre-vaccine COVID. But once you are asked what indicators must be monitored to be able to guarantee the safe environment, the answer is right now it's very difficult to measure in real time bacterial or mold loads, let alone viral loads. So you need to focus on how your building respects standards like RESET, in which they are focused on indoor air quality. And we need to potentially and eventually move into more granular HVAC systems that do not lean on a whole area or a whole floor plan system to be able to change the temperature in one room. If you have a more granular system, you'll be able to micromanage temperatures, humidities, and all the air quality personalized in different areas. So last, in terms of that, we need to perform. We need to get to the pandemic smart buildings. So as an architecture office, we like to take care of design and project development, but we are on a mission to work with all the companies in the whole process. The whole process from working with the company through workplace due diligence up to the complete life cycle and management of the office. So workplace management, it would be the last item on this list. But you need to understand that what we are focusing on is providing the whole process: workplace due diligence, design and project development. The bidding process is crucial here. We know perfectly what to look for in a contractor, and to manage or direct the execution of the actual works. Next, please. Okay, so this is just a little list of acknowledgements and sources and some of our last projects, some of which you've seen pictures of in this presentation. And I think this does it for me. I hope I have not overstepped into everyone else's time.
Thank you very much, Pablo. It has been a very deep and interesting analysis. Congratulations for the work done. There has been a lot of concepts, and I'm sure that there are questions and comments from our attendants. So the floor is open to anybody. Who is the first?
Can I make a question to Pablo? A very short question. Pablo, very good your presentation. When we speak about this question of the workplace. We speak not about going back to the work, but about going back to the office. One of the questions that I think it's very interesting is the question of the identity of the company and the solution that you have in terms of not losing this identity, because the worker spends a lot of time at home, and most of the time you can lose this identity. How do you see this question of the identity in your proposals in technical terms?
Can you formulate the question again? The last part.
Yes. How do you think that these solutions that you were proposing can guarantee the identity of the company for the worker and for the manager?
Oh, okay. So yeah, of course, if you go, I think it's a third or the fourth. I don't know, but you can understand that we've said for the foreseeable future, you need to the office is going to be the place for productivity and encounter, and also the representative place, a visual representation of the values of the company. You can see further in the presentation, maybe next or so. So, but that is going to be, well, I don't recall exactly where it is. Here, there, in the left part, you can see the two most important things for the post-COVID office: face-to-face relation and a representation of the company values. Maybe you're referring to that, right? So the question is how the separation and distancing and all that is going to affect to the visualization of that, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Okay, so in the first term, in the first pre-vaccine moment, that's going to have to leave its place for safety. Okay, so in the first post-COVID, pre-vaccine thing phase, you're going to have to focus more on health and safety, and maybe those values are going to be less visible due to all the paraphernalia, all the screens and the distancing and the graphic signs and all that. That's going to be very difficult, as you pointed out, to maintain the representative aspect of the office, but you're gonna have to make a good job to be able to provide good graphic design that can live together with the formal representation of the office. In the post-COVID, post-vaccine moment, that's going to have to be crucial, because in the next months up until we get the vaccine, everyone's going to be focused on health, safety, and things like that. But after the vaccine, you're going to have to go to another dimension. You need to redefine, redesign your whole office, and that representative task is very important in that way.
Thank you for the answer. Any other question, comment, experiences from other experts, ideas? You can also challenge the ideas that has been expressed here.
Of course. I mean, this has been a tough thing to summarize, because there are 20 times as many things in this document as I've been able to express. So I really recommend everyone to check out the whole thing, because I could see as I was speaking along, I could see many things that are really pointed out in the texts that are worth the read.
I am very interested in the relationship between creativity and the workplace, the spaces and the distribution of how you move, for example, or how you meet. You say that to be standing increase the capacity to get creative.
Yes, some experts even say, I'm not going to go that far. Some experts say that you're not creative unless you are standing. But I think that's being going too far. But it seems that the consensus is that at least 50 to 60% creativity is increased by standing or doing, the Socratic method, walking along and talking about things and things like that. So that's how important it is to make a flexible office. This creativity thing boosted by 60% by standing was in the part of expanding the catalog of posts, the flexible post catalog. But also you need to be able to provide the spaces that make that possible in terms of working together. The main use also needs to provide that possibility. So Antonio, I think there are some questions in the chat. Maybe we can answer those.
Yes, for sure. Feel free to do that.
Okay, I see Elena is asking. Thank you, Elena. Don't you think that in the workplace, in or out of the office, creativity is starting to become a more important indicator than productivity? So, creativity is a means for productivity. At least the way our clients see it, we've come to learn that what they value more is productivity, because that's in the bottom line of the earnings of the year. That's the reason they're doing they're building their business, productivity and the bottom line. But in order to become more productive, you need to become more creative. We're going to face some changes in the work scene related to AI and automation and things like that. We need to understand that we must focus on the tasks that the human being can perform best in relation to how machines are performing. So creativity as a means to productivity. Jaime is asking, congratulations, thank you, Jaime.
He's referencing another document. I would propose to comment on the Veronica Elena Bocci comment.
So I'm going to read it for those who are not reading the chat. I am thinking to the value chain related to these great inputs, meaning the furniture companies that can jump in and supply these flexible modular solutions. As you can see in the presentation, some of the furniture that is shown in the pictures is credited to. Can you, Antonio? Can you move into some of the? Next. Well, some of the furniture is credited to Steelcase. Steelcase is a world-class furniture producer. They are even they are really how would I put it? Technologically focused. They are making an effort to implement sensors in their very tables and chairs that can provide the data in terms of occupancy, but also in terms of health and safety and things like that. So not only they are good designers and really forward-thinking designers, but also they want to implement technology in their pieces. Some other we have credited here in the very document some other furniture builders that are really worth checking out.
Yeah, but the question is that if is this a new way to approach the offices design, opening opportunities for our companies, for the European companies on the furniture side, our value chains?
Absolutely, but you need to understand that the experience must be hand in hand design with the people that are going to use the furniture, the offices, and the tools. I think Steelcase and other producers are really focused on doing that, but the opportunities are huge. The office space is not going to be, I mean, maybe we're not seeing it right now yet because everybody is scared, everybody is focused on just health and things like that. But once we realize that everyone can perform 50% of their jobs away from the office, the office is not longer going to be a place. The office is going to be, I mean, work is not going to be a place. Work is going to be an activity. And those spaces will be redesigned altogether. This won't be just an addition of desks. These are going to be spaces that are designed ad hoc, just for the company that they serve to.
Thank you.
Antonio, yeah, if I may jump in, yes, linking all this with Nina's question also, because the meaning of value chain is really something having putting together several parts and several actors. So the architects are one, the furniture manufacturer other, people-centered. So like Pablo said, we have to create something around the people. So the end user has to be really taken into consideration. But what Nina is saying is great. What about production? The spaces dedicated to manufacturing activity. So in this possible new value chain, should we bring in also machineries, manufacturers? Because if we have to guarantee more spaces for people working around machines, also this is necessary. I mean, you need to engage also with the producers of machineries.
Okay. Okay. I think I see where you're going. Yeah. This is important in ways we cannot even imagine what you just said. But the key issue here is some companies are going to need people in the office. Some companies are going to be needing people and machines in the office. Some companies are going to need way many different things. So we need to focus on what the company needs, and we need to provide, and this is key in our document and in our vision, we need to provide a very, very flexible, adaptable place. So once the needs of a company change because the machinery or the employees that they need to perform their services change, the space must be able to change rapidly and easily. I think this is what you were talking about right now.
So, thank you very much, Pablo. Thank you, everybody. It has been a really wonderful session. I will need to review it carefully in the video streaming because it's and also the document. So thank you also, Daniel, for sharing it in the chat. And you are invited to join us whenever you want during the next weeks. Okay. Next Monday we will speak about the next steps on advanced style. So thank you and have a very, very good weekend, everybody. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye. See you Monday.